Let's go. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another week here at the RGM Experience Music Industry podcast with me, Carl Maloney. How you doing? You all right? We like to delve into the grassroots music industry and beyond and speak to characters and people that are on a journey within this fucking music industry of ours. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Stephen and Ty from Fat Dads. Hey up, lads.
Oi, oi.
Howdy.
Now then, how you doing? You all right?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, absolutely fine. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today and just having a piss about and a chat and that. You know, it's very much appreciated your time. So you've got different. The first thing I've noticed, you got different regional accents. So where do we find you both?
I'm from Scotland, just over the border from Steve, not far away, about an hour and a half away.
Oh, okay. And where are you from, then, Stephen?
I'm from Carlisle.
Oh, right. Okay, right. Okay, so right up there.
Right up, yeah. I'm pretty much on the border.
Right over there. Well, I want to start, and I like bands to be a bit different online, and I've noticed you guys being really funny online, with especially a few tweets that have been coming out, and I'm really bored with bands' social media at the minute. It's quite bland. They're announcements all the fucking time, and it's really, really boring and dull. When you lads are online pissing about and stuff and just having a laugh, I was really drawn to that, and it's kind of why I wanted to have a chat with you, because I just found it really funny, particularly in this world that we live in now, where everybody's taking themselves all fucking seriously all the time. You're a breath of fresh air, and I wanted to get to know you a bit, really, and that's kind of why I'm here, just from seeing you piss about online, you know.
It's a shame our songs aren't quite as good.
Great pissing about shit songs.
Yeah.
Why do you do that? Well, just talk us through that.
That's for you. This question, Stephen.
It is, yeah. I agree with what you said a lot. Like, you see a lot of people. It's like, here's our new single, here's our new merch, here's our new video, blah blah. And I get it. Like, you're trying to promote yourself, you're trying to build a brand. At the end of the day, you want to be selling tickets and stuff, but it's just very impersonal, I find. And you can beat people over the head as much as you want with stuff like that, but if you just go online and be funny, people will just listen to you without you having to try and force yourself onto them, I find.
If you don't do it, I find a lot of bands nowadays, they're all for the money. So it's merch, that's all they post on social media, or tours, buy tickets, buy this, buy that.
Yeah.
And I think it's a breath of fresh air from our side, because you've got Steve on here communicating with fans, which makes a big difference, I think. Like a massive fucking difference.
It really does. And I think what were the first one that I saw that I just chuckled about you. You were at a festival or something, someone got stuck in a toilet, or they're having a shit or something, and somebody walked in. Tell us about it.
Oh, mate, I can't tell you about it because
you can.
I turned up to that festival late, right? And I walked over to the table where all them were sat, and his girlfriend told me that, and he immediately said, "Why the fuck did you tell him? Because he's going to put it on social media," which I did, obviously.
Yeah.
And then we went on stage, and it was one of the first things I said. The tent was absolutely packed out as well. And he told us a few times to stop doing it. I just thought it was taking the piss. After practice afterwards, he was like, "No, really, don't do it. It's not funny. No one laughs at it." It's like, everyone laughs but you. But if it upsets you, I'll stop it. Fair enough.
Oh,
that's always fun, that kind of stuff. And has he got over it yet, though?
No.
He has. Well, he had, but you've just mentioned it, so you've
okay.
put him back in one now, I reckon.
Poor lad.
Yeah.
For bringing it up again, mate. Anyway.
Hey, Mike, I was asked the question, I answered it, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you mentioned Mike. Is he the one with the big head?
That's him.
He is, yeah. Absolute Dutton, as we say in Carlisle.
He right,
Dutton.
Mike, they told me to say that, by the way. I didn't know that. They stitched you right up.
Ty did. I didn't. Let's get it right.
Just a bit of banter there.
Yeah,
banter between friends.
Yeah, I love all that kind of stuff. I love that.
Christ,
there's a few more tweets about. It's mainly about shitting. There's quite a lot of that. You dreamt that you pooed yourself at school and you put your kegs on it toilet and flushed them twice and dried them blue paper towels, and they were as good as new straight after that, mate. So thanks for sharing as well.
Well, it's one of those dreams where you just kind of have to get out there. And I'm pretty sure my girlfriend wouldn't want to hear about it. So.
Yeah, yeah,
You had to share it to the thousands of people on Twitter, didn't you?
Yeah,
You had
well,
to.
I've got one of those heads that goes like this. I have to get stuff out when I get it in there.
Mm. I suppose Twitter's the perfect platform for you, then, isn't it?
It is 'cause it's full of weirdos. Yeah,
Especially the people reacting with us as well. You know what I mean?
yeah.
They're
Works
like a
out quite
good
well.
reaction. Yeah.
Does it feel better to get it out sometimes than just keep it all in? You know, we're
Oh,
blokes. We're encouraged to share our thoughts and feelings about things, aren't we? So I suppose it must
Yeah.
be
Yeah,
mentally as
it's
well.
better to get out. It's better to get out whether it's shit or your thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah. Better out than in. Yeah.
I'm quite concerned that you've just pointed out there's a lot of them that center around poo, which I think is quite worrying.
Maybe something you should have a think about, man.
It feels like a bit like
Yeah.
an intervention, this, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
About
yeah,
our Twitter profile.
No, keep going. It's really laugh anyway. I find it really funny. So, how do you find like Twitter in general? You know, since Elon's taken it over, I've
Oh,
always preferred Twitter as my favorite social media platform. I just think a lot of bands miss Twitter off their list of social media stuff. They're kind of trying to do everything on Instagram, where I just find it boring. I find Facebook a bit boring.
I think you're pretentious as fuck if you go to Instagram first as a band. Me, personally. I think because you're only there to show off what you're doing, what you've got. If you've got real personality, you'll be on Twitter, wouldn't you? Sharing your thoughts. Like our Steve is. You know what
with
I mean?
the rest of the weirdos.
Yeah, with the rest of the weirdos. Connecting with the rest of the weirdos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can't post nonsense quite as much on Instagram because you've got to do a picture with it. And what I can't think of an interesting picture to take each day. It's hard enough thinking of an interesting tweet. And I fail that most of the time because they're all about shit.
It'd just be you sat on the bog, wouldn't it? Having a shit.
It would,
That's what it would be every day on Instagram.
That's an idea. That, to be fair, Ty.
That's how we get more followers.
We'll trial it for a week and see what happens.
They're all different. They've all got their own charms, I suppose. My least favorite one is Instagram because you can't post links on it, so you can't send anybody anywhere. You've got to mess about making stories and stuff with links in, which I don't know how many people really click on those things. You never really know, do you? Twitter just feels like it's. And I'm bringing some tips out for 2024 on RGM soon later this month, and one of them is, you know, trying to encourage bands to not miss Twitter or X off their list of socials because they're really missing out on a big fun crowd of music loving people that are out there just, you know, having a laugh on there and messing about and discovering new bands too. I don't get it. I think it's quite lazy of bands to miss the best one out. I think they might find it hard work, or they might hear on the news that that's where all the weirdos are. Or I don't.
The thing is, they don't have in their band a man that's sat doing nothing all day.
Yes,
so they don't have the time to tweet every 45 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly.
So we've got Steve currently, so he can tweet as much as he wants through the day because he's got time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's good because the people on Twitter, they seem to have this connection with people. Like they seem to build this connection with the people they follow. Yeah. And I think that's not found on any other social media platform at all. Not Facebook, Instagram, nothing. It's a good connection you get with the fans. But it seems like close as well.
Yeah.
Apparently Twitter's
you can have real-time conversations, you know.
Yeah, that's exactly
it. Yeah. But it's meant to be the hardest one to build though, Twitter, isn't it? And apparently Instagram's really easy.
Yeah.
Apparently, not for me, it isn't.
No, Facebook's quite difficult to get likes. Like YouTube channels, they're just a fucking nightmare to get like subscribers and numbers and stuff in it. But Twitter, I suppose it is quite difficult at the start, but you've got to start somewhere, and everybody's at zero, aren't they? So everybody's in the same. Yeah, right, okay, right. So
don't get me started on TikTok.
Go on.
I'm too old for TikTok. I can't work it.
There's two band members tried to do TikTok. I tried to do it first. I just did a TikTok of me sat in the bath, pretend to be Bear Grylls. Pass it to the bassist. I think he's made one TikTok in the last 8 months.
Yeah.
So it's a hard one to crack TikTok, I think.
Yeah, for our gen, because I've tested it, and I don't particularly know what I'm doing on it all. I just share like reels and stuff that we make for stories and stuff. I just share them on it and just dump them on it.
Yeah.
Just so I'm doing something. I don't know. And Threads is boring. I don't know what that's all about. That's like
Yeah.
That's not even a social media. We don't even talk about that one.
no. I did.
I had high hopes for that.
I did sign up
Aye.
for something called Blue Sky the other day, and that's just same as Twitter, but nobody uses it. Knew it was just a new one, so it's all
That's me good then, is it?
it's boring, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
fucking always having to start again on stuff and that kind of stuff. So
It is.
It's definitely changed the interactions we've got since Elon Musk took over, isn't it?
Anteater, yeah.
It's definitely definitely changed. But recently we've got some quite good interactions.
Yeah.
But it just seems to like peaks and troughs. Do you know what I mean?
Better
Yeah.
or worse?
It's like whoever's obviously doing well, or if they get interactions, they get boosted. But then even us, we drop after we get good interactions, don't we?
You can
And nobody's-
post like like your new EP's out, and then you'll sell a few hundred copies, and someone's like, "Oh, I didn't even know you had it out." It's like I've posted about it every day for the past 2 weeks, but
Yeah.
even people that follow you struggle to see it. It's just because they want you to spend money on advertising. That's all it is.
Yeah, interesting. Because I signed up to the blue tick thing for it, and I've noticed our engagement's gone up more. So I presume if you pay a couple of quid each month or whatever, then you do get some, I suppose.
I did try that once. It didn't seem to work for us.
Didn't it? No.
No, so I cancelled it, and then it got worse.
All right.
Like you bastards, I need that 12 quid a month.
Do you find it like handy just to having Twitter and having the instant thing of fans? I'm going to move on from Twitter in a bit because I feel like I've banged on about it too much. But do you feel like it's handy having that facility to speak to your fans directly and straight away, particularly on a record release? Because I know you've had a few releases over the years, and how have you found social media in general? Really, I suppose, and we'll park the shit.
In general, it's been really good, isn't it? I mean, you're at a time now where every band kind of has to have it. And I've no idea how people managed it in like the 90s and stuff, because how did you get people to hear you? Obviously, now you've got all the tools to get people to hear you, but it's more competition because everyone's doing it as well.
You kind of you've got to do more than write good songs, aren't you, and videos and stuff.
Yeah,
you've got to be a videographer. You've got to know what you're doing on your socials and that kind of shit these days. It's not for everybody. I see why people don't like having to do it.
You've got to be your own manager. You've got to be your own agent. You've got to be all that jazz before anyone higher up will even sniff at you.
Yeah. Well, it's the hardest industry in the world. How did you, going back a little bit, how did you both like get into music? What were you both like as young lads before music grabbed you? Start with you, Ty.
I was boring as fuck. Me, I didn't play guitar. I didn't sing. I was a terrible singer. Me, still am.
Ty, I was going to say you're still boring as fucking a terrible singer.
I had to get it in before you did. I had to say that before you did, Stephen. It was my brother. He's in a band. He moved to Norway when he was younger. My half brother. He started a band over in Norway, and he always tried to encourage me to get into music, but I had no interest until maybe 13, 14. Started picking up a guitar and listening to Oasis. That was it. That was the band for me. Like a million of people in the UK.
Me too.
That was the band that got everyone into music. So I started playing guitar.
Why did your brother move to Norway? Just out of interest.
Different dads. So he moved to Norway because his dad met a woman from Norway in Oldham.
Yeah. Okay.
So he moved to Norway, and then he followed because there wasn't anything over there for him, basically, apart from his mother and family and all that. So left us in the shit. But he got me into that, and then go on to like 18, 19, started a band, did a few gigs, like local gigs, got as far as like Glasgow and Carlisle, and then that was it for a year. During like COVID, it kind of split up, and then Steve messaged me, and that's when I've ended up in Fat Dads.
What made you message him?
He loves me that much.
Yeah, there's a small talent pool in Carlisle.
Right.
There's no good looking singers, is the Ty?
No, and there still isn't.
Still isn't. Yeah, I was a fan of Ty's last band, Kasama. So I thought he's a good singer. He doesn't look like a total melt. I'll ask him. And he said, "I didn't you, Ty?
I did, yeah.
Good
Your
work.
life has significantly improved since."
It hasn't because I've got to spend like £80 worth of diesel to get to Carlisle.
Oh, aye.
You know what I mean? But I'm poorer, but I am happy. You know what I mean?
Well, talk us
Money's
through.
not everything, Ty.
Yeah, too right. Well, talk us through what you were like before music and how you got into music. And Stephen.
I was a little shit as a kid, but I'm not gonna go too far into that. You can probably guess, to be honest, by the way I behave. But it's pretty similar story to Ty's, really. I started playing guitar around about 15 or 16. First band I loved was Oasis.
Yeah.
The first album I bought was The Master Plan, and I bought it for 50 pence at
What an
a shop
album, by
called
the way.
at a shop called Vimto's, which I imagine is similar to Sifters. They just sell records and bongs. That's all they sold, really. So it's my ideal shop. And yeah, I was in a couple of bands. It was my first band at 19, and I've been in a few on and off here and there, none of which ever really went anywhere. I think the younger you are, the more time you've got to dedicate to it, but also the less you know as well. So you kind of spend a lot of time with your wheels just spinning a bit.
What was the previous bands called? I always like this question.
The first one was called Mannequin because the guitarist didn't move on stage.
Okay.
What? Because the
Right.
guitarist didn't move on stage.
Well, he moved his right arm, but it was just that.
So you named it. You named an
looked
entire
wrong.
band. You named an entire band around your guitarist not moving on stage.
Yeah.
What a man! What a guy!
Oh, aye. And then there was a bit of like a psychedelic band called Teenage Mary, the name from which it's the first lyric from Run, Run, Run by Velvet Underground.
Nice.
And Fat Dads. I'm
Hey.
sure there was another one.
Hey, Sugar Spoon.
Sugar Spoon, that's it, Ty. Well done. The most recent
That's the
one.
band my band supported you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice. So you mentioned earlier that there's a small talent pool in Carlisle. So what's the music scene like at the minute? Like with music venues, and I presume it's similar to like a lot of places at the minute. It's struggling. You tell me.
Venue wise, we've got the Brickyard, which is the main one. It's been going for since I was old enough to go to gigs, and the old fire station, which is a newer one. I think because we're in Carlisle, it's a bit of a shit place. You get a lot of bands will go along to Newcastle, which is just east of us, and they'll go up to Scotland and just come back down. Nobody really stops in Carlisle. I don't know if you get the odd one that does, like Miles Kane, Andrew Cushion recently, who we
Weller.
supported. Yeah, and they're always sold out. So there's obviously is a market for good bands here, but they just don't seem to stop here, which is quite frustrating because if they did, you'd get more local bands getting on opening slots with them and reaching more fans, but we don't really get them opportunities up here.
And what's it like for you, Ty? What's it like for your area?
Oh, my area's dead now. I used to be a good kind of collection of bands like the band I was in before. Just playing local gigs. It was a great music scene locally.
What was the name?
Kasama.
Oh, okay.
Kasama. It used to be a great music scene, as I say, like round Dumfries where I live. But it would only ever stretch as far as like Glasgow or Carlisle. It would never go any further than that. It'd be very rare any bands from around my way would get any further up south or north. But now there's hardly any bands that are doing anything now. Like none that I can think of are like traveling any further north, south, or doing anything. Obviously, you get your folk nights in the old pubs. That's it. That's it now. Round my way.
It's quite it's a similar story to in a lot of places. I was speaking to a guy called Nick Shane that's from Dundee, and he was saying Dundee's quite hard work. Just getting out of Dundee and trying to get south and doing, even just getting to, Glasgow is hard work sometimes. And you're not on your own. It's a similar story in a lot of places in like where I'm from originally. Sheffield's quite difficult. I'm living in Manchester at the minute. There's opportunities in Manchester, but it's a tough life for bands, isn't it, to try and get out of their own cities. Very
Oh
difficult.
yeah, it's tough enough to get a gig in your own city, let alone another one.
Yeah. Well,
Aye.
even like because as a promoter myself, I put bands on in Sheffield and Manchester, and it's really difficult as a promoter to put out of town bands on because the higher costs for venues these days have gone up quite a lot post COVID because they're trying to recoup some money in after not being able to open for 2.5 years or whatever. So it's a really difficult position. I can't see I can't see any easy way of making it to help it improve quickly. If you get me, I don't know.
It's
Quite
it's
depressing.
always been like a big catch-22, hasn't it? Like trying to get a gig out of town. Obviously, a lot of promoters will say, "Well, how many people can you bring?" Which is fine. Promoters have got to put food on the table and that.
Yeah.
And if you say like less than 50, they don't reply to you. So it's kind of like, well, how do you get gigs in these cities without fans if you can't get gigs in them without fans? It's a bit of a conundrum, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I say 15, 20 for ours just to try and
all right,
make it as low
right,
as possible.
We could say at least 5. You know what I mean? In Sheffield.
Yeah. And that's spread out over our whole tour, like.
Yeah.
You mentioned playing with Andrew Cushing there. Now, I'm a big fan of Andrew. We've had him on the podcast 3 times, I think. Is the guy that we've had on the podcast the most because he's just a good crack. He's a good lad. He's got his head screwed on and he knows what he's doing. He's grafting.
Proper Geordie lad, isn't he?
In a just how did you get on with onto Andrew's tour
then? I think our drummers, I don't know if it's his friend or his cousin, he plays drums for the Dub Pistols.
Right.
And his mate, nephew, niece, whatever, plays drums for Andrew Cushion.
Oh.
So they asked him, it's getting confusing now, if there was any like support bands in Carlisle that'd be a good fit. And he said, obviously, Fat Dads, to which Andrew Cushion's manager replied, like, yeah, I've heard of them, which is always a good sign, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that the band that always tweets about shitting themselves? I know who they are.
Well, we've had Andrew's manager Lee on the podcast before because I wanted to have him, and he's just grafting and finding his way himself as a relatively new manager in the industry as well. So it's nice that he's keeping an eye on, and it's nice that he's seen you anyway, and your name's been mentioned, and you kind of just got to try and get your name mentioned, aren't you? And
when it's good or bad, yeah.
Well, yeah, and even that's another positive of social media, I suppose. You've kind of got to do your best to get noticed out there, I suppose.
That's the thing, obviously, when you get an artist like Cushion there, he's a great artist himself. Love his tunes, and he's got them like connections to like Noel Gallagher, supporting Noel Gallagher and all them. It's a good stepping stone for us to get kind of our name up there, supporting an artist that has supported Noel Gallagher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So have you? Is that like the first like major support you've done in your local? Where do you find you guys? Where do you see yourselves? What level do you see yourselves at within the music industry now? Are you just starting to get onto the support ladder thing? I know you've got your headline tour coming up next year as well, but a lot of bands do their own headline tours and they try and get on supports as well at the same time, just to try and boost everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we don't really get a lot of touring bands like that come here, so you don't really get the support opportunities. If you get a big mid-sized band playing in Manchester or somewhere like that, the promoters are going to go to all the local bands, aren't they? Obviously, which is fair.
Yeah. So
yeah, we're still trying to get our foot on the support ladder, but it just depends who comes here.
Well, how much of a brave step is it? Just have you booked all the venues for the tour yourself and just made it all happen yourself? Have you done that? Or have you had any help and support with that? Talk us through that as a project. Getting a tour underway.
We've done the same thing last time. It's as I say, if you're going through promoters, a lot of the time they'll get in touch with you. I really like your music, want to put you on. Can you sell this amount of tickets? No, goes dead. You don't hear from them. So we thought, let's just book a load of venues that we like ourselves. pick some local bands that we like ourselves, and we just split the money 3 ways. Seems to work.
Yeah.
Or it did last time, anyways. Hopefully, it does this time as well.
Well, I can see that starts on the 13th of January in Newcastle, and Edinburgh, Glasgow, Manchester, 33 Oldham Street. Oh, I'll see you on 10th of February, lads. I'll come and see you. Then you got Birmingham, and then back in at the Brickyard for Carlisle. So that's a good sized tour. That's it's a big commitment. Everybody's busy these days, isn't it? How was it getting all the band members to be free for those dates to book it as well? That's okay.
I think that's the bit that sends Stephen fucking crazy, isn't it?
Oh, it does.
It drives you mental.
We've got a shared calendar where we all put our holidays and shit like that in.
Yeah.
You should see it, man. You open it, and like the drummers on a stag do every weekend. Like every weekend.
You've never seen a man with so many friends that are getting married.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think last year Alex was away every weekend from like June to September, so the summers are right off.
Right.
You can do stuff during the week, but when you all work like 9 to 5 and the drummer works shift, so you can be on earlys, backs, or nights, so you can only gig every third Friday or something like that. It's fucking a pain in the ass.
Wow. So
it's a miracle we've got this many Saturdays within the space of like 2 months. You know what I mean? It's an absolute miracle.
I know how hard it is to get something like that off the ground and just make it happen. So it looks great. We'll put a link to all the tickets for obviously in the description of this podcast. So if you're intrigued and you're hovering over the link, buy yourself a ticket for the tour next month, guys. What level do you see yourselves at within the music industry now as Fat Dads?
Climbing, I think I would say. Fair climbing
from the very bottom rung.
Yeah, it's further than we've both got in our previous bands. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So like being played on Radio 1, Radio X, having a session on Radio X. What's his name? Totally forgot his name.
John Kennedy.
John Kennedy, yeah. That was a great experience down Leicester Square.
Nice.
That was mental. That you sat in that great. You've watched loads of bands on YouTube, sat in that green room, and then you're sat in it, and you're like, I shouldn't be here because I'm an idiot. You know.
Mental. And then even BBC introducing down in Blackburn last week. It's and the gigs playing like London, Manchester, Birmingham, Newcastle this tour. It just feels like it's kind of building up a little bit, and obviously the support on Twitter as well from the fans. It's been unreal.
Yeah.
So it just kind of feels like it's climbing a little bit, getting a bit of steam.
Talk us through that day out in London then. Just talk us through the day and behind the scenes of doing a session at Radio X. Talk us through your day.
Well, do you want to tell me? I'll tell you about my day driving down. Because I drove down with Mike, right? Great driver. Perfect. All the way down from like Carlisle. I drove down to Carlisle, got a lift from Mike from Carlisle down to London. So what did it take? What should it take? 6 hours? Something like that. All the way down to London, sweet as a nut. Stopped in the service stations, got a Burger King. Got 2 Burger Kings. Had a few fags. Carried on. Got into London. What time's the gig? What time's the show? 11 o'clock or something. Arrived to London about 7 o'clock. Spend about 3.5 hours trying to find a parking space. And I thought to myself, this will be a great idea. We're nearly there.
Yeah.
I'll have a can of lager before I get into London.
Yeah.
And then you're stuck in the car for 3.5 hours trying to park. And John Kennedy's like, there's a parking space around the corner. If you can't get in that one, go around the corner. If you can't get in that one, go around the corner. You know what I mean?
If you can't get in that one, go fuck yourself.
If you can't get in that one, drive back to Carlisle and go fucking home. But apart from that, getting to Leicester Square, it was brilliant.
You have to bring like your own drum kit and that kind of stuff then. So you had to have your van. You couldn't like park up and get.
No, it was just an acoustic session. It was just an acoustic session. Okay. It was acoustic guitars. Alex brought his bass. Obviously, I brought my voice, as I always do. Yeah. And we tried this parking garage, and I can't remember what street it was on, but what they were quoting £65 for 24 hours parking or something like that.
Cheap
and
down there.
You should have seen Mike's face. You know, like you get that the Chinese animations when they're like the sweat's dripping out the head. That was Mike. You know what I mean? That was Mike right then when they said £65.
Madness.
But it was a great experience sitting there. We
But-
meant to meet them. Where did we meet you?
Oh, it was some daft.
Stacking still.
But that's some kind of burger pancake joint or something, wasn't it?
And then went to Leicester Square, and that was unreal.
So what was it like? Like you mentioned yourself there, Stephen. You said like you don't feel like you should be there. What was John like? Did he meet you at bottom of the stairs and that kind of stuff? What was it like walking in that famous green room where all the famous people have been? What was your
Yeah,
experience?
it was cool. Yeah, we were sat in the reception waiting for him, and he came over, shook all our hands, and that was a bit weird. And then we were walking. I just mean the experience, not him. We were walking to the studio, and me and Alex were at the back. And this is Alex's first. Stop biting me, bloody feet, man! Piss off.
Is that your
Sorry,
missus
my dog.
again?
Aye. Shall I to nick me socks? So we were walking to the studio, and Alex at the back goes, "I did not expect him to wear such wide-legged pants." That was Alex's first impression. But yeah, I've been in the green room. It was amazing. Yeah, it's you're having a bit of a practice beforehand, and you're like, I'm not nervous at all. But as soon as you walk in, it goes, "Hi, we're live." You're like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Do not swear. Try not to.
Well, that's the worst bit for me because I fucking love swearing, and I feel like I can't be myself on like national radio.
How did those opportunities? You mentioned Sky One. What we're talking about Radio One, Radio X, Six Music. You been played on all these things. How did you make that happen? Because there'll be bands watching this thinking that'd be like a dream come true, getting a song played on those. How did you, as a band on the up from the lowest rungs out there, how did you make that happen?
It's that Stephen there. He's an absolute hustler. I don't know how. He's a gobshite. I don't know how the fuck he does it.
Good work.
So the very first one was our first song we put out, Trust and Promises, and that got played on Radio X. So the story is, and I really don't think this would work for most people. I saw a tweet saying, "Would you make a sex tape with your second at for 2 million?" So I typed in at, and the first name that came up was John Kennedy, which is weird because we didn't follow each other at the time. So I thought I'll just leave it. And then I thought, I just tag him in it. It'd be funny. And then he sent us an email saying, "Well, you could just send us your MP3 instead of making the porno with us." But he said, and a lot of people have said this to us when we email them, they say we get like hundreds of emails a day. And as soon as I saw the name Fat Dads, I burst out laughing. I opened it first because I had to know what it was. So I think the name definitely helped him pique his interest, I think.
There's a lot to be said for even sending a cheeky DM to somebody, as long as you're not like begging them for stuff and just being boring or that kind of stuff. I speak to so many people that have got replies from people in radio, people in tele, famous people that have retweeted that they've got a single out for them and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot to be said for being a bit of a cheeky bastard, I think. As long as you do it that way, as long as you do it like with good intentions, you're having a laugh and you're not like being like, stalky or,
yeah,
some weirdos can be, I suppose.
Yeah,
Like
you got to have a bit of fun with it. Yeah, like me, yeah.
Yeah. Well, how did you get on Radio 1 then?
The first time, I have no idea. We just uploaded it to the
Right.
BBC Introduce and Uploader as we do.
Yeah.
And we just got an email saying Nels Hilton was going to play it. That was our second single.
Oh.
From what I've heard recently, when you upload something to the Introducing, it gets sent to a local, not local, but whoever does like an indie show at Radio 1.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of them do get listened now by people higher up. I'm guessing he liked it.
Oh, nice. Well done. That must have been a nice email to get back to say it's going to be on.
It was, yeah. We had to edit it a bit, didn't we, Ty?
Yeah, we did.
Who did it come back to? Who got the email, or was it like a band email that you've all got access to?
It's a band one, but I think I'm the only one that checks it, to be honest.
I've forgot all the passwords for all the socials. I got locked out of them, so I don't know. I don't know anything that's going on.
So what was the? How did you share the news with the rest of the lads then?
Oh, that would have been a classic screenshot. Just stick it in the group chat. Deeks this, lads. Decent, something like that.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, just fair enough. Yeah, being grafted.
Decent.
Peaks means look at this.
Aye, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, I like to hear stories like that. You know, just being a little bit of a cheeky bastard, just being funny, just playing to your strengths, really. I suppose, aren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just totally wangling it because he's obviously got the gift of the gab there. As you can see through Twitter, how he's amassed so many followers just by being an absolute one of them.
Careful time.
You know what I mean? But so he can do anything.
Yeah.
The emails that I see on that group chat from people wanting to play us, or I'm like, how the fuck have we managed that?
Well, what I'm getting, like I said, I can't speak for the other lads, but let's give him a bit of a shout out. You two seem quite tight. You seem like you're proper on the same wavelength, and you're grafting, and you want this thing. Talk us through the strengths and the weaknesses for the other people that are band. What do they bring to the band, and what could you do with art? We'll go around and you can do it,
Stephen,
and you can do it for each other after we've done them other than to know.
They turn up to
poor Mike.
Oh yeah, poor Mike. I wouldn't even know where to begin. I've probably known Mike the second longest after Andy.
Yeah.
Mike's probably the one that gets the most shit. I don't know why. There's always that friend in the group where it's just like, I just got to take the piss out of you as much as I can.
He's a great lad, Mike, aren't he?
Oh yeah, you wouldn't swap him for anyone.
Nah.
And the first Radio 1 play we got, that song was actually wrote by him and not me, which really annoyed me at the time. But I've got over it now, kind of.
What strengths does he bring to the band then, do you think?
He's a very good guitarist. He'll often say that he's not. He gets flustered and that, but he's a good songwriter. He doesn't have a lot of stag do's booked in, which is always a bonus. And he always does really stupid things that I can then go and say on stage and embarrass him.
Nice. There we go. And the drummer, what strengths and weaknesses do they bring apart from what you've already said, booked up every Saturday for
the constant stag do's and the shifts. The strengths that he brings, he's fucking mental, isn't he? He's like an animal off the Muppets when he's pissed.
Yeah. Aye. You have no idea. Well, I love that story. He went on a stag do, and the first thing he did when he got to the stag do is he grabbed his mate's suitcase, the groom's suitcase, and he chucked it in the pool, opened it up, and just chucked it all in the pool. And then he chucked his shoes on the roof.
Yeah. and then because that lad was a Celtic fan, so I'm pretty sure that he made him wear a Rangers kit all weekend as well.
Fucking brilliant. He's an absolute mad case.
Nice one. And between yourselves, speak for the other two that are there now.
We're missing Alex.
Oh, go on. Yeah. Sorry, Alex. Go on.
Our Scouse bassist. Well, Wirral, I think. I don't play drums, so I can't really comment on how difficult drums are. But Alex is probably more technically gifted at the guitar than me and Mike, I would say, because he's like into jazz and that, and I think he had lessons. I think me and Mike are self-taught, so he knows a lot about scales. And see, I don't know what scales are.
Yeah.
So when I play something, he can come along and be like, right, this will work over it, and it does.
All right. So it just adds
it's always
dynamics of the sound, I suppose. Then
there's nothing funny to say about him because he's just that good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just that good, to be fair.
Oh, nice.
Although he did tell me a good story once. I'm going to start talking about Harry Potter. Sorry. Right. In the last film when Harry Potter dies and Voldemort does that laugh, he does that laugh. So once when I think Alex was in uni, he invited a load of his mates around for a sesh, and they found the 10-hour version of that on YouTube, and they sat and watched the entire thing. No drugs, just drink. That's impressive. That is really impressive.
Class.
Just a laugh.
It's just over and over, yeah.
Wow.
And watched the whole 10-hour job.
Wow. That is impressive. And go on then, Stephen. What strengths does Ty bring to the band and his weaknesses?
Ty is a very good singer, thankfully, because that's his job.
Yeah.
Whether or not he's singing full on or acoustic, you can blend it to either one, can you?
I can, yeah. I do both. I might
He's
not remember.
also,
Go on.
I was going to say he's also, as you can see, very attractive.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Just on this camera, I've got the lighting set up perfect.
and his
Weaknesses.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Fuck, crack me fingers here. No, Ty's got one weakness. He, for some bizarre reason, cannot remember lyrics very well.
Nah.
Oh, right. Okay. Interesting.
I get too lost in the moment. I enjoy the gigs too much that I forget the words.
Ah, what do you?
And it's not even because I'm pissed, because I'm driving to most of these gigs now. So there's no excuse. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm
one of them. Like you see older people in bands, don't they? That can't remember stuff anymore. Where they've got.
If at any point I had to get one of them, I would not be in a band.
You're like one of them, like stands where you're.
Aye.
On it.
None of that. Reading the lyric book while I'm singing. No chance.
To be fair, Ty, that's exactly what you do on the radio with your phone. So
it is, yeah. But on the radio, you can get away with that, can't you?
I'm
not doing that. I'm not doing that live in London, am I? Standing there with my iPad on the stand.
Maybe never say never, mate. Might need it.
Well, maybe in the 50th anniversary reunion tour.
No.
All right.
Go on then. And what have you got to say about Stephen then, Ty?
He's an asshole.
Yeah, go on then.
Is that a strength or a weakness?
Great guitarist.
Yeah.
Great singer. He doesn't like his singing, but he's got a great voice.
Yeah.
Absolute wordsmith.
Right.
Absolute wordsmith of lyrics. Love his lyrics. What I don't like is how many lyrics he's got in a song. Because he comes up with these lovely little words, lovely little lyrics, and somehow I've got to fit him in while actually singing properly. You know what I mean? He sends me a demo and he's like, he's got 100 words in about 30 seconds.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I sound like when I sing as well.
And then I've got to go into a studio and blare them top of my lungs, try to fit all these words into fucking one breath. And apart from that, no, he's perfect.
Yeah,
it's the chorus for Girlfriend, isn't it? There's no breath whatsoever in the chorus for Girlfriend.
No breath. It's impossible. And then we always do that acoustic as well, so when you can't avoid missing a word. You know what I mean?
That's why I picked it.
Live, you can do it. You can miss a word. You can't do it acoustic.
Is it is it just a natural talent for words that you've had then? Or have you always been good at English at school and all that kind of stuff growing up? Or is it natural talent, or is it something you've worked at?
I failed English in school, which is worrying because it's my main language. I'd never have classed myself as a good lyricist. I think I'm a good songwriter in terms of melodies and hooks. Lyrics, I think I'm okay. I just try and write stupid lyrics. I'm a big fan of Wet Leg, where everything's like a bit tongue-in-cheek and just kind of taking the piss a bit.
I love Wet Leg.
Yeah.
Nice.
But the song that I wrote, we're going to debut on the tour, and it's a perfect day to mention it because unfortunately Andrea Brower died this morning from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So the song, the chorus is "We can go back to mine sometime, get high and watch Nine-Nine." Very proud of that one.
So Wet Leg aren't an industry plant, then they've got something about them. Then I've heard a few people saying Wet Leg have had it too easy in this industry, and they're flying up the festival slots too quick and that kind of stuff. There must be some hidden force behind them.
Maybe, but if you're good, who gives a shit?
Yeah, good. Yeah, well said.
And there's a lot. I mean, I know, like we say it as well, like all their industry plants have had it all handed to them. We're grafting for it. But if someone offered it to us, we'd take it. You know,
you would take it straight away, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, I'd sell my soul for anything.
Oh Christ,
I have absolutely no shame, Ty.
I know. Don't you worry.
So what's like coming up, like, apart from the tour then? So we're coming up to Christmas now, aren't they? We're at the business end of the year now. It's loads of food, loads of drink ahoy for us for the next couple of weeks or so. But then obviously you've got the tour, but what else are you planning? Any new tunes coming out or all like that? I really love the tune Jenny, by the way.
Thank you.
I've had that. I think I've put it on his playlist. I can't remember now these days. But if I am, it's going to be on the first song on the RGM Spotify playlist because I think it's a class song. Quite Strokesy. Found it
Strokesy. Yeah. It is, isn't it?
I got a Strokesy vibe to it.
We're basically a Strokes cover band now.
It's completely original. I did not rob that strumming pattern off anyone.
Cover yourself, Stephen. Cover.
We played that at Manchester, and a girl came over afterwards and went, "That sounded very Strokesy." That's like, it fucking is the Strokes. There's no point in spending hours writing a good song when someone else has already done it for you. They're never going to hear it, and if they do, they can't sue us anyways. Come skint. Who cares?
Aye, have we announced that? Have we announced the new tune yet? No.
No, we need to decide a date on it. It's a banger though, Ty, isn't it?
It is an absolute banger.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, we could tease people that. So there's new music coming up in the new year. You've got a new tour. It looks like it must feel quite exciting times as being the fat dads at the minute.
It is. I'm buzzing to get back on tour, me. Newcastle especially, because that day I'm a Man City fan, and Man City are playing Newcastle on the day we're there. So I've booked the week off, mate. So I'm going to go down, try not to get pissed through the day in Newcastle, and then play the gig. Yeah, like I did at Kendall Calling.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that was bad.
Go on.
So I was sat with the rest of the band under a gazebo having a burger, and we saw Ty fucking staggering over to us. So Mike went over and spoke to him, and Mike came back by himself and went, "He's absolutely off his fucking face." So before we went on stage, you were just like sat backstage, just necking a load of Red Bulls, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, and it was probably the only gig I remembered all the words.
It probably was.
What caused you? What caused you to go for it at Kendall then?
Well, I had snuck my brother in. I put him as a member of the band.
Yeah.
So I drove my brother down to Kendall Calling on the Thursday. I was working until the Saturday. I couldn't get the time off. So I was gutted from the Thursday all the way to the Saturday. I was like, I should be there. Miss Kasabian, you know, all the bands. So I thought to myself on the drive down, I said to my missus, I said to her, I'm gonna be sensible this weekend. You know what I mean? Jumped in the car and went, I'm gonna get pissed. You know what I mean?
I know.
All the way down, I thought, I can't wait to get on the beer.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get on the beer. Got on the beer, didn't get off the beer till about 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Went to bed, woke up about 9, went and bought more beer to straighten myself out.
Yeah.
And that did not happen. That did not work at all. So then I turned up to the gig at 2:00 on the Sunday, still blitzed. And I was sat backstage by myself behind this massive generator, thinking, I've fucked this, mate. I've fucked this. I'm going to absolutely ruin this for this band. Went on stage, smashed it.
There we go.
Easy.
To be fair, it could have been a lot worse, Ty. Someone could have walked in and you're wiping your ass at Kendall Calling. So
exactly.
You had it quite easy, lad.
Yeah, exactly. I had a good one.
That's taken us in a nice, big, lovely circle. That from starting off all about that and ending with that one. Is there anything you want to share with the people that have really embraced your band over 2023? Is there anything you want to share with those folks before we let you get off and get on with your lives?
Thank you.
Yeah, we love you all very much.
Yeah,
you're all fucking weird, and that's a good thing, obviously, because you have to be a bit weird to enjoy Fat Dads. Thank you to everyone who bought our first EP. We sold hundreds of copies of that in a weekend, thinking we'd sell like 4, which would be the band. Thanks for coming to the gigs. We've got new music coming out, gone on tour. We've got some hoodies out now as well, which is fairly cool. That was a bag you sell a hoodie, and it's free delivery on all of December in our merch shop.
Oh, there we go. So there's a link in the description of the podcast, everybody. Check them out. And Ty, Stephen, really appreciate your time this evening, just having a good chat and a mess about and just getting to know you. I think it's great. I'm going to, it's Oldham. I'm just looking at your Manchester date there.
You better fucking be there.
Yeah, man.
You better add now. You can't go back on it now.
I won't let you down, lads.
I'll come to your house if you don't come.
Look forward to this kind of stuff. I'm straight down there.
Me and Stephen will be there with our guitars at your front door.
Sorry, I'll be there. It's fine. But hi, Stephen. Really enjoyed it tonight, mate. And yeah, thanks for joining us for a good chat. Right, enjoyed it.
Thanks for having us.
Cheers, Bob.
Very much.
Nice one.
Cheers.